guys, and welcome back to the Lazy Girls Kitchen. My name is Maggie, and on today's episode I'm going to share with you a dessert from my childhood. Really, it's like I don't even know what you call it, but it's like an apple roll cake. So once the cake comes out, we actually make it into like a roll. So I don't know. You'll see what I mean once we start doing it. It's kind of hard to explain. And I know that apples, typically you associate like apples with fall, but this dessert is just so fresh and so amazing that to me it just screams spring and summer. So before we go any further, you're going to preheat your oven to 375, and I'm going to take you over your list of ingredients. So to make this, what you're going to need are some eggs, some flour, some vegetable oil, some water, some sugar, baking powder, and of course the star of the show, Granny Smith apples that you're just going to want to slice into little slices like this. So the first thing we're going to do is assemble our apples onto our pan. So the first thing we want to do is we want to prep our pan with our apples, because once we make the mixture that goes on top of it, it goes directly over them. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your apples and you're just going to lay them down in a single layer, just like this. So my apples are all set. I basically made a layer of apples on the bottom. So I'm going to set these aside and we're going to start working on the dough. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sugar and we're going to add it into our eggs. And we're going to beat this with our handheld mixer for a few minutes, just until the mixture gets super light and fluffy. So this is going to take a few minutes, so just make sure that you're patient. Okay, so my eggs and sugar are nicely incorporated. As you can see, the color is very pale in the color of the egg yolks, which is what you're looking for. So this did take a few minutes, so you just want to be patient. And that is it for the electric mixer. The rest we're going to do by hand. And that is the trick to this cake being so nice and fluffy, because we don't want to overwork the flour. So to my flour, I'm going to go ahead and add my baking powder. And I'm going to go ahead and just give it a rough toss, just to kind of incorporate it. Oops. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it into my eggs. And now using my spatula, I'm just going to fold it nicely into the eggs. Okay, so this batter is nice and just combined. So to this, we're going to go ahead and add in our oil and just our water. We're going to give this a nice stir. So my batter is gorgeous. Look at this. It's pale in color, which is what you want. Everything's nicely combined. We're going to pour this over our apples. Just carefully. I absolutely love this cake. I grew up on it because it was really inexpensive to make. And so easy because there's such few ingredients, and every time I make it, it just reminds me of family and home and my grandmom. I just love it. All right, I'm gonna set this aside, and then I'm just gonna smooth the mixture over my apples. Ooh, just carefully. And this will rise quite a bit, so don't you worry. You're not gonna, the mixture doesn't seem like it's a ton, but trust me, it's gonna rise really beautifully, cook super nice, so you don't have to worry about that. It'll be perfect, don't you worry. I just want to make sure everything's nicely covered. So my apples are fully covered by the batter. I'm going to go ahead and put this into my preheated oven for 45 to 50 minutes. You just have to keep an eye on it. I cannot stress this enough. It varies by oven. It really, really does. I've noticed it. If I cook in an electric oven, it's a lot different than a gas oven. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on it. But the magic number here is 45 to 50 minutes. And then I'll meet you here for the next step. Okay, so my cake was actually in the oven for exactly 35 minutes, which is why I told you just to make sure that you're keeping an eye on it. Once I saw that it started to get golden brown, I checked it and it was fully cooked through, so I removed it. Otherwise, it's going to be too hard and you won't be able to roll it. So what you're going to do is you're going to need a clean kitchen towel, brand spanking new clean. All right, and this is how I do it. It's really hot, you gotta be careful, but if you don't take it out when it's hot, you're not gonna be able to remove it after. So I take a kitchen mitt and a dish towel, and I just kind of flop it over like so. There we go. Oh, I hope I didn't crush it. All right. Remove that. Now, if you notice, this is a different cake than what we originally started with, because as you know, my luck with filming, I lost the footage for the other one, so I had to remake this one. Oh, it's hot. Look at this amazing beauty. I can't even. Oh my gosh. So I had to use a different pan, and the other pan was not non-stick, the one I'm using today. So I had to put aluminum foil and some non-stick cooking oil, because otherwise all the apples would have stuck. So this is what you do. You got to work quickly. I know it's hot. It's not the best time, but you just got to do it. You just roll it like so. Be careful not to roll the towel into the cake. Oh, this is hot. I'm gonna move this towards me actually. Oh, it's hot. All right, so I fully rolled it. I'm gonna leave it like this until it dries. Until it cools off, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. All right, guys, so I let my cake cool completely, and then I just topped it with some powdered sugar. But before I try it, I just want to touch base with you a little bit about the baking time. So you know I had to bake it twice, because the first time I lost the footage, which is totally fine, because any excuse to bake a cake is fine by me. But I baked them both for about 35 minutes. Now, when I originally made this recipe, I would bake it for around 45 to 50 minutes, but I used a different oven. So that might be it. So I just really want to stress to you to be really careful and just kind of pay attention to your oven and to your gut. Once you start to see that it's getting nice and golden brown at the top, around maybe the 30-minute mark, take a toothpick, stick it in the center. If it comes out clean, it's good. If not, keep cooking it for as long as you need to. So I just really want to share that fact with you, because if you overbake the cake, you won't be able to roll it. And that's basically the whole point of the cake. So I'm obviously not going to eat this whole thing. And this is actually half of the cake. This isn't the whole. Ooh! Oops, just going to eat that one. This is actually half of it. I cut it to kind of show you, but I just want to show you the inside. Oopsies, move piece. Look at that. See how it just stays? It's so beautiful. You have no idea. Like, I put it with some little powdered sugar on it, just like slice it up, put it on the table, and it's like the best thing. It's so inexpensive and so easy to make. My go-to thing. All right, let me give this a try. So light. Just so light and fluffy, not overly sweet, which I love. And then you get a little bit of that twang from the green apples. It's perfection. Absolute perfection. The easiest cake ever. You definitely have to head over to www.thelazygirlskitchen.com to get that fantastic recipe. Make sure to show me some love and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. I'm gonna just continue to eat.